Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Trevor Rowe. I'm the Chancellor of Bond University, and welcome to this afternoon's postgraduate ceremony at Bond University. Firstly, welcome to the Graduands on this very important day for your postgraduate graduation. Also, I'd like to welcome all the family and friends of the Graduands, to welcome all our guests, one and all, and particularly like to welcome our Bond University councillors, Bromley Morris and Ben Chow. Also like to acknowledge the presence of Neil Balnaves, was a fellow councillor, trustee member of Bond, and Diane and his family, Dr. Pat Corrigan, one of the great supporters of Bond University, our Vice-Chancellor and President, Professor Robert Stable, and his lovely wife Vicky, and our Deputy Vice-Chancellor and Provost, Professor Gary Marchant, and his wife Maria, and my wife Julie. On this important occasion, I'd like to call upon the Vice-Chancellor to present an award to Mr. Neil Balnaves.
I just wanted to recognise that today, this afternoon, is the last graduation which will be presided over by our Chancellor, Trevor Rowe. There will be formal events at which the University will recognise the outstanding service that Trevor Rowe, supported by his wife Julie, who I might add comes to all the graduations, the service that he has provided to this university. Trevor has his second three-year term, which is the maximum term allowed under the Bond University Constitution. It will be completed at the AGM this May. He's been here since, in fact, he was Chancellor when I was appointed, and that was over 5 years ago now. And I must say, sir, that it's been an absolute pleasure working with you. I think that this is a special ceremony and that it is Trevor's last as Chancellor, and as I said, there will be an opportunity for us to recognise all that he has done and the commitment and passion he has had for this wonderful university over the last several years. Chancellor, Neil Balnaves has worked for over 40 years in the entertainment and media industries, starting his career in 1962 as the Public Relations Manager for Rigby Publishers in Adelaide. At 34, Neil became Managing Director of the Hamlin Group. After a management buyout in 1988, the group was renamed Southern Star. Neil consolidated and steered Southern Star from its beginnings as an animation studio to a multifaceted entertainment company. In September 1996, he successfully floated the company on the Australian Stock Exchange. Southern Star is now Australia's largest television production and programming distribution group and is involved in film, television and video production, sales and distribution, licensing and merchandising. In 2004, Southern Star Group was acquired by Southern Cross Broadcasting, one of Australia's leading media companies with interest in television broadcasting and capital city radio stations. September 2005, Neil retired as Executive Chairman but continued to serve as a consultant and a Director of Southern Cross Broadcasting. Southern Cross was sold to Fairfax Media in 2007. Neil is currently the Chairman of Macquarie Leisure Trust, Australia's premier leisure asset operator, which owns theme parks, bowling centres, marinas and health clubs. He's also a Director of Technicolor Australia Limited. He serves on the boards of numerous charitable organisations and is also a Foundation Fellow of the Australian Institute of Company Directors. A passion for the arts and medicine led Neil to philanthropic support from his private foundation, the Balnaves Foundation. Established in 2006, the foundation is a charitable trust which invests more than $2 million annually in supporting charitable causes in medicine and the arts, but with a focus also on young Australians. Neil kindly agreed to join the Council of Bond University in 2003 and served with distinction the maximum allowable 2 consecutive terms, retiring as a councillor last year. His contribution to and interest in the governance of the university has been substantial, and the council is delighted that he agreed to be a trustee member of the university when he retired. Neil generously made available a donation from the Balnaves Foundation of $1.5 million towards the cost of creating the Multimedia Learning Centre, which converted a little-used gallery space on campus to one of the most advanced student-orientated learning spaces in any university, certainly in this country and even further afield. Bond students now benefit from his generosity, and the space, designed by leading architect Hamilton Wilson, is widely recognised as being state-of-the-art. It is regularly visited by staff from other universities who only wished they could have something similar for their students. Chancellor, in recognition of his long-term support for and commitment to Bond University as a councillor, as a trustee member and as a benefactor, I present Neil Balnaves for the award of the degree of Doctor of the University Honoris Causa.
Well, please join with me once again on congratulating Dr. Neil Balnaves on his degree of Doctorate of the University Honoris. And of course, it's my great pleasure to introduce Dr. Balnaves to give the occasional address this afternoon at Bond University. And whilst the Vice-Chancellor has covered the very impressive career and the very impressive and outstanding community and philanthropic support of Neil Balnaves, his family, through the Balnaves Foundation, I just thought I might add a few little extras here that I find particularly fascinating about Neil Balnaves, and there's a lot fascinating about Neil Balnaves. One, he likes boats, so he can't be all bad. He does like good red wine, so that's pretty impressive. And of course, when he was running Southern Star, he created numerous dramas, including Police Rescue, Blue Healers, Water Rats, the acclaimed miniseries Blue Murder, Joe's Jury, and On the Beach. And of course, I once said to Neil, when he came up with Big Brother, how did you come up with this? And he reminded me it was a slither of life in Australia. So Neil has got obviously a diverse talents in terms of all these programs, and Big Brother went on to be an enormous success. Neil has also done a number of shows such as Deal or No Deal, Ready, Steady, Cook, and many other programs. So Neil is quite a talented individual in terms of producing these amazing series that are now household names in the Australian media. We at Bond University have benefited enormously from Neil's contribution as a councillor of Bond University. He made an important contribution. Neil's curiosity, his searching mind, always resulted in him asking all the right questions as we formulated policy at this university. And upon his retirement, through the Neil Balnaves Foundation, he was extraordinarily generous and donated $1.5 million towards the Balnaves Multimedia Centre, which I think is an outstanding centre, clearly well used by students and a great testament to the generosity and contribution of Neil Balnaves. Neil, however, has not left the umbrella of Bond University. He's now a trustee of Bond University, and I am absolutely sure he'll go on to make further contributions in terms of supporting and promoting Bond University as he goes forward on his current journey. So it gives me great pleasure to ask Dr. Neil Balnaves to present the occasional address at this postgraduate Bond University graduation. Dr. Neil Balnaves.
Thank you, Chancellor. I also want to acknowledge the Vice-Chancellor and particularly my colleague councillors who ably lead this university and make it a vibrant place of learning for all of you here today, graduating. To the VIPs here today, particularly the graduands and their families and friends who are obviously the future of this university. To the university staff who are without doubt the intellectual soul of this institution. To you, I acknowledge you and I thank you for being here today. I was going to present probably a different address to the graduating students today on the basis that one could be a little bit lighter-hearted, but I think the events of last weekend have put a different spin on things in our lives, and it would be remiss of me not here to, on behalf of all of us here today, to pay a tribute to those Australians that were lost in Victoria and who in fact have over the centuries been lost in this country to the ravaging bushfires that are part of our lives. It would be remiss to not salute them today. A little bit to me, a bit of background just so that you can see how the pieces fit, and maybe in some of this there'll be a little bit of a story frame for those postgraduates today. I was a very different person. I left school at 15. Never qualified for university. Took me a long time to get there, but 65 I just made it. I began work as a stock clerk in a publishing company in Adelaide, and fortunately through a stint of good fortune and a lot of good luck and hard work, became Chief Executive of Australia's largest publishing company at the ripe old age of 34. I then realised that publishing was a very, very, very reputable industry, but something was lacking, and that was, frankly, you couldn't make much money out of it. So I gave up publishing at the age of 36 and entered the entertainment industry, and as the Chancellor has outlined, got involved in a number of programs that I think set a new standard in Australian drama television, certainly Australian reality television. I won't dwell too long on the Big Brother experience, except to say that probably it has a lot to do with the results of that I'm funding the Multimedia Centre the way I am. So, in a sense, that's where what some people might call average television comes back to do some good in the community. I built Southern Star into a business that became, without doubt, the preeminent company in Australia in television programming distribution, and less probably known, turned it into a distribution company worldwide that was the 9th largest company in that business and the only Australian company that's reached that stage. All of this didn't happen because I was a genius, and that is absolutely true. It happened a large amount to do with one thing I do want to say to you today, to all the postgraduates graduating today, that there is a large factor in life which has to do with not just luck, but it's a word I want to leave you with today called mentoring. If you look back on mentoring, as you go back thousands of years ago, the Greek philosophers mentored their students at their feet. If you look at you today in households, you're mentored by your families. If you look at your days at school, you were mentored by your teachers. You look here today at your time at the university, and you've been mentored by your professors, by your deans, and by your lecturers, all of who've contributed a large amount to mentoring you. You now, though, go out into the big, wider world today with your degrees, with the university training and knowledge and experience. Don't lose sight of the fact of mentoring. If everybody that leaves this room today, graduates from this university year by year, goes out and leaves the community something in the form of mentoring, they will lead to a lot more success in business. They will lead to a lot more satisfaction in you, yourselves, and you will do more good for your community than a lot of other things. So I just want to leave that message. I was lucky. I wasn't bright academically, but I did work hard. But I did have 3 wonderful mentors in my life that really turned my career around. People that gave me the chance to take a run at risk, to give me a chance to open up my thinking, to give me a chance to tell me where I went wrong, And I suppose at the end of the day, if you really run on the theory that you want to get 7 or 8 out of 10 right, and you're prepared to admit the 2 or 3 bad failures you make, you'll go a long way in life. Because it's all about the majority. It isn't about winning everything. It's all about getting the majority of your shots right. So no matter what your career, in law, medicine, whatever you do, just remember, give it a shot and help others along the way, because by doing that, you will build a greater business and you'll get more job satisfaction as you get older. A couple of other rules I'd like to leave with you. Set yourself 5-year goals. Don't think of your career as, I'm going out there. Think of it in blocks. Where do I want to be in 4 years, 5 years' time? And when you get there, review what you've done. Look back over it and say, I got there, I didn't get there, what do I need to do to get there? Don't lose sight of refreshing your goals. Don't take it that you've graduated, you've now got a degree, and you sit behind a desk or you sit behind whatever you do, and that's the end of it. You've got to keep chasing it. You've got to keep improving yourself. You've got to keep on contributing more to society because society needs it. There will never be an excuse for hard work. There is no let-up. You cannot breeze through life. It isn't like that, despite a lot of people showing you that they can. If you look at the tragedy and some of the unfolding problems you see today in the world economic crisis, there is a very fine example that you graduating today can look back on. You've seen the worst crisis at the start of your careers than I've seen in all of mine. It is a serious crisis, the worst since the world recession of the 1920s, and what a learning curve to come off. But it will go. It will get better and things will move on. But when you make it, try and do a little bit of what I did, and that's philanthropy. Luckily, all of my mentors were philanthropists, people who had a view about improving the community around them and giving something back. It's the easiest thing to do when you look back on having done it. It's the hardest thing to do when you're sitting around at age 35 with 3 kids, a mortgage, and you can't afford the second car, and you really can't afford to eat out tonight. Well, I've been there, I've done that. I got lucky in later life, and I'm putting it back into the community. Now, some of you might think that might lead to a revolt amongst my family, because my 3 children, who I'm blessed to have and who are here today with my wife, took the view, quite rightly, that's our inheritance. We don't mind you giving it away, Dad, but we want a view about where it goes. And I'm very lucky in having with me my 3 children here today who are trustees of the foundation and who are actually starting a new generational shift in Australia of starting to understand philanthropy and giving something back to the community at an age I could never expect to do. That's one of the blessings you get. And philanthropy doesn't mean big bucks. It means putting aside the odd couple of $100 when you're new in your careers, putting aside later on in life the few $1,000s. It's not the extent of the amount of money that you give, it's the fact and the art of giving and having a say in doing it where you want it to be. I've started this foundation. It concentrates solely in the area of medicine and the arts with a view towards improving the life of young Australians. The university is an absolutely ideal recipient of its funds. The Multimedia Centre is what sort of suits my aspirations. It's something way out there, something that you graduates today have had at least the opportunity of using in your last year, or last semesters. And there will be more of that sort of thing that we'll be doing. But it's all towards building a better community. My time at Bond University, it was fascinating. I could not let today's occasion go past without paying a tribute to the Chancellor of this university. Trevor Rowe is an exceptional human being. When he arrived on this council, and myself and just about a whole new council in the space of a couple of years, there was a major job to be done. None of it could have been done without the enormous support of the faculties, the deans, and the faculty members that have been in this university for almost some of them to the beginning days, all pulled together to turn this university into the success you see it today. This is now a vibrant university, ably led by a Chancellor who sadly will be retiring later this year, led by a Vice-Chancellor of great vision, and ably supported by a group of councillors that represent Australia, not just a sectional interest, and more importantly, a student alumni which comes from all around the world, which makes this university quite different to most universities in this country. It is almost an international community in this, represented, as you can see, by the flags around this auditorium. Coming to a conclusion on my address today, there's some little things I want to leave with you. Always employ people that are smarter than you. When you're in the position of employing people, don't go for the average. Make sure you employ people smarter than you. One of my greatest lessons in life was trying to control the smarter ones than me, rather than having to try and rev up the ones not as smart as me. Remember too, your reputation is everything. When you walk out of this university, you not only take your reputation as a graduate, you take the reputation of this university with you, and you take the reputation of your family. Go out and do work. Do not compromise your principles. You've learnt good principles. Don't do it. It isn't worth the risk. Importantly, though, have fun. Work has to have a trade-off. It is just an absolute shortcut to nothing if you throw yourself into work and to work alone. You must have a lighter side to life. It makes the harder work worth more, and it makes the fun funnier. Don't forget that. Learn to laugh at yourself. Don't take yourself too seriously. Learn from your mistakes. And more importantly, not just learning from your mistakes, but learn to admit when you're wrong. One of the frustrations I have in years and years in business is the number of people that will give me a story about why it's everyone else's fault but theirs, and whilst they can never be wrong, and they're always right, it costs nothing to admit when you're wrong and move on. Lastly, but more importantly, I just want to take this opportunity of thanking those very close to me, most importantly my wife, who's here today, my children, who are here today with their partners, and my friends who are here today, and my esteemed colleagues behind me. I just want to say congratulations to the graduands. Go forward, and remember one thing, please, mentor. Don't lose sight of that. Thank you.
Well, for someone who has the pleasure of knowing Neil Balnaves, and I'd like to think he's one of my good friends, let me assure you the wisdom he extolled today and the virtues by which he articulated is precisely the way he's lived his life. I've never seen anyone involved in business that has fun doing what he does, and as you've heard today and from his introduction, Neil's accomplished many great heights in his business, and he is now making, with his family, a fabulous contribution to philanthropic needs of medicine and arts, and indeed of the university. We're all very fortunate to know Neil Balnaves, and I suggest to the Graduands some of his wisdom is appropriate and well worth listening to. It's very good advice. And can I ask you all to join me with me once again in thanking Dr. Neil Balnaves for sharing his insights with us today.
Chancellor, I present to you those academic staff who are recipients of Bond University Awards for Research and Teaching. These awards are made annually in recognition of exceptional performance and achievement. The criteria on which the award for academic teaching excellence is made relate to teaching and learning initiatives and performance, including appropriate use of teaching resources, including information communication technologies. Recipients receive, in addition to the award, a $5,000 grant which they are able to use to fund activities relating to teaching. The winner of this prestigious award for 2008 is Associate Professor Michael Rees from the School of Information Technology. The winner of the annual award for research excellence is selected by the Bond University Research Committee using the following criteria: the achievement of high-quality research outcomes, the level of leadership provided to research and scholarship projects and activities, the building of significant, enduring, sustainable research and scholarship activities, and the extent to which the research provides practical, innovative solutions for industry, supports the development of new business opportunities, or for the development of a socially useful intellectual discipline or outcome. The joint winners of the Bond University Award for Research Excellence for 2008 are Associate Professor Wei Lo from the Faculty of Law and Associate Professor Mike Lovers from the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences. Would all candidates for degrees please stand? Chancellor, I wish to present the following graduands who are in attendance today for admission to degrees of Bond University. From the Faculty of Business, Technology and Sustainable Development, 55 graduands. From the Faculty of Health Sciences and Medicine, 3 graduands. From the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, 58 graduands. And from the Faculty of Law, 29 graduands. I certify that the graduands have satisfied the requirements for admission to the degree for which they are being presented.
With the authority of Council, I hereby admit to you the degrees for which you have qualified. I also admit to their degrees those candidates listed in the graduation program who are unable to be present with us today.
Would the diplomats and graduands please be seated?
It's now my pleasure to ask the Dean of the Faculty of Business, Technology and Sustainable Development to present his graduates.
Chancellor, I wish to present the following graduates to the award of Master of Accounting. Chang Jin Chen. Lina Piao. Mei Thang Quinn. Adriana Santos. Yuan Tian. Xin Ji Zhang. Kui Ho Chan. Simona Germain. Yaquin Chi. Nan Lee. Wenchun Lee. Yushu Lee. Pei Xian Lin. Yin Seo. For the award of Master of Business, Timo Lieta. Zifeng Yi. For the award of Master of Business Finance, Yu Sun Cheng. Ren Li. Mei Fang Quinn. Yuan Tian. Chengyi Su. Xin Ji Zhang. For the award of Master of Business, International Business, Chen Chen. Lu Feng. Bishen Neidu. Andrei Vlasov. Jie Wang. For the award of Master of Business Professional, Natalie Cavadonga Karossi. For the award of Master of Business Administration, Tomomi Iwasaki. Matthew Kyle Morehouse. Holly Sun Kung Woods. For the award of Master of Business Administration Finance, Anthony Charles Deeg. For the award of the 2008 Ross Bloor Achievement Medal, awarded in absentia, James Fullerton Batten. For the award of Master of Business Administration, mybondmba.com, Satoshi Eber. Ikui Fujita. Kasuhisa Masuta. Michie Morigame. Awarded in absentia, Mihu Igiwara. Katsutoshi Gamatsu. Leiko Kubota. Hiroaki Morinaga. Tetsuyo Morita. Shin Uta. Mitsuiki Sato. Chisuko Shizuka. Hidenori Zoga. Kieze On Son. Haruna Takayama. Shigeru Teshima. Hajime Umeda. Nobuhide Yoki. The award of Master of Business and Information Technology, Apana Bothra. Irwin Romy Nasushin. Kala Yeni Tawacha Virat. For the award of Master of Information Technology, Athea Prakash Santhanan. And for the 2008 John Oglethorpe Achievement Medal, awarded in absentia, Joanne Ma Arneson. For the award of Postgraduate Diploma in Property Valuation, Kim Marie Pilcher. For the award of Master of Project Management, Maximilian Lesseau. For the award of Master of Property Valuation, Kim Marie Neal. For the award of Master of Urban Development and Sustainability, Kate Mueller. Dean Rousseau. For the award of Master of Urban Planning, Nigel Llewellyn Cartledge. For the award of Doctor of Philosophy, and I'd just like to say before we present this award that a Doctor of Philosophy is the highest degree that can be attained in any faculty, so it is quite an achievement. The award goes to, or the doctorate goes to Annette Hasser Nahamis. I'd just like to move on and also tell you a little bit about the thesis or the work that Annette Hasser Nahamis has done. The title of the thesis is, Who is the Change Manager? As we know, effective organisation change is vital to business continuity. The thesis explores whether the change manager should have a background in project management, along with change management. The thesis offers a review of the relevant literature and a qualitative analysis of 3 change management case studies. The results make a contribution to knowledge, particularly in the fields of change management and project management. It also provides a model to guide the choice of project managers and/or a dedicated change manager, all with respect to the degree of change required, the degree of resistance to change, and other organisational factors. I'd like to award the degree now to Annette Hasser Nahamis. Congratulations. And now the 2008 Bonn University Mervac School of Sustainable Development Medal, awarded in absentia, Seiyu He.
It gives me pleasure to now ask the Dean of the Faculty of Health Science and Medicine to present his graduates.
Chancellor, I'd like to present the following graduates. Firstly, for the Graduate Certificate in Biomedical Sciences, Fiona Elizabeth McKinnon. For the Postgraduate Diploma of Biomedical Science, Hugh Richard Porter. For Master of Sports Science, Siri Laulutin. For the Doctor of Philosophy by Published Works, Dr. Anthony Dixon. Dr. Nixon undertook research in skin cancer management and primary care. He specifically looked at 5 different topics through prospective studies identifying risk factors for bleeding and infections following skin surgery, determining through a randomized controlled trial whether mupirocin ointment versus paraffin ointment versus no ointment on wounds following skin closure afforded patient benefit, and whether patients were at increased post-operative risk should they remain on warfarin if they were taking it and or aspirin prior to skin surgery, to develop and then trial a novel approach called reducing opposed multi-lobed ROM, flap, for below-knee wound closures to reduce the incidence of skin surgery complications on the leg and foot. And finally, to investigate whether patients who suffered surgical complications were less likely to be satisfied with service provision.
It gives me pleasure to now ask the Dean of the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences to present his graduates.
Chancellor, I present the following graduates. For the Diploma in English Studies, Amy Shutimon Chanwan. Conan Jonathan McDermott. For the Postgraduate Diploma of Behaviour Management and Postgraduate Diploma in Counselling, Dimple Shah. For the Bachelor of Film and Television and Postgraduate Diploma in Education, Ebony Victoria Brown. For the Postgraduate Diploma in Education, Melissa Jane Brocci. Leah Carrott. Jessica May Coleman. Nigel Da Silva. Tony Gillum. Lee Victor Holtzbohm. Diane Leslie Keane. Gemma Patterson. For the Postgraduate Diploma of Psychology, Emma Louise Woodley, Postgraduate Diploma in Education. Postgraduate Diploma in Psychology, T.S. Allard. Carla Bianca Ferrari. Joanne Fisher. Laura Bridget Fleming. Christiana Herr. Amy Hodgkinson. David Jeffrey Johnson. Lina Nikita Svirblis. Sarah Louise Custis. Kate Morrison. Yasmin Ran. Kyrillos Youssef. For the Master of Arts, Jolene Chu. Jonas Piper. Chun Chun Yang. Master of Arts, Lot Shengbai Zhao. Master of Arts, TESOL, Ri Ching. Yu Zhe Li. For the Master of Communication in Advertising, Andrea Charlot. The Master of Communication in Corporate Communication, Ivanelli Zudi Pani. The Master of Criminology, Edward Philip Whiteley. Master of Educational Practice, Melanie Creamer. Tamarin Jane Freeman. Bronwyn Eleanor Lee. Jenna Kathleen Swan. Ye Zhang. For the Master of Film and Television, Burak Erdner. Dale King. Diana Lorena Ojeda Cadena. The Master of International Relations. And now for a person who, at the age of 83, will be the oldest person ever to graduate at this campus, Albert Richard Gardner. Manuel Alexander Yantos. Yana Kiralee Rowan. Master of Psychology Clinical, Brooke Elise Packham. For the Master of Psychology Forensic, Michelle Perrin. Barry Allen Woodhouse. For the Master of Arts by Research, Sarang Kim. And for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, or PhD, Martin Andrew. Martin Andrew has written a doctorate thesis which almost everybody would be interested in. He's conducted an investigation into the history of the Chinese People's Liberation Army at the level of battlefield operations. His overarching argument has been that the concept of active defence has been far more important in the operational and doctrinal history of the PLA, that's the People's Liberation Army, than as the more familiar Maoist model of people's war. Mao's model entailed letting an enemy strike deep into China and then be destroyed by a vast militia force using people's war. Tuo Mao in the thesis title. The thesis title is Tuo Mao, the Operational History of the People's Liberation Army. Tuo Mao translates literally as shedding feathers, but in the PLA it is a euphemism for removing the last vestiges of Mao Zedong's vision for China's armed forces. His vision, to which the PLA only paid lip service, has been replaced by one employing modern combined arms forces, operating modular independent battle groups able to fight on and outside China's land borders. It's the central argument of Martin Andrews' thesis that by studying the operational history of the People's Liberation Army, it can be demonstrated that its operational art was forged in the period 1928 to 37 and is based on the Soviet Union's theory of operational art, continuing to this day. The thesis revises and updates conventional thinking among external analysts about China's guiding defence philosophy. One examiner praised the thesis for being a cogent, well-argued and well-researched study of this important topic, and another found the information insights into the strengths and weaknesses of the PLA on the battlefield since the 1930s to be unprecedented. The thesis was found by all three examiners to rest on solid research foundations. Martin Andrew.
Now it gives me great pleasure to ask the Dean of the Faculty of Law to present her graduates.
Chancellor, I wish to present the following graduates from the Faculty of Law. For the award of Postgraduate Diploma in Legal Practice, Jack Anthony Blackburn. For the award of Juris Doctor, Kristen Sarah Taylor Armstrong. Joshua Matthew Crew-Arthur Carson. Chen Liang. Interpreet Chaos Singh. Jun Wang. For the award of Juris Doctor with Second Class Honours Division B, Nirvana Ma. Andrew Joseph Nuerge. Kelly Marie Sargent. Michael Stratton. For the award of Juris Doctor with Second Class Honours Division A, Maria Itale Dollare. Stephen James Hunwicks. Simeon Peter Moore. Adriana Cully Ogren. Luke McLeod Sanistreet. Saskia Vanderbent. For the award of Juris Doctor with First Class Honours, Alexandra Jane Mason. For the award of Master of Business Law, Simon Livingston. For the award of Master of Laws, Abida Aruna Chalam. For the award of Master of Laws, Corporate and Commercial Law, Heidi Lee Ross. For the award of Master of Laws, Dispute Resolution, Michelle Coralie Doyle. For for the award of Doctor of Philosophy, Sipana Sok. Chancellor, I have the honour of presenting an outstanding candidate for this degree. Dr. Sok is Director, Resources and Partnerships with the International Trade Centre in Geneva. His topic was the role of law and legal institutions in Cambodian economic development, opportunities to skip the learning curve. In Cambodia, the years of civil war and strife, the killing fields, have deeply scarred the country. It has no institutional memory and has lost former educated and professional classes. This thesis gives an account and assessment of the past unknown to most Cambodians today, and also an historic and cultural perspective that is critical to understand the present and to assess the future. One examiner of the thesis remarked that it should be prescribed reading for all lawyers and economists, as well as those entering the judicial profession. Another examiner described it as a front-ranking work on the subject of law and development. The candidates' proposals for the choices that Cambodia must now make were described by examiners as a significant contribution to the policy dialogue between and among government leaders, as well as government dialogue with the private sector and development partners. All of the examiners urged publication of the thesis for the benefit of those not only in and working in Cambodia, but also for those who seek to explore the factors that have operated within this emerging transitional state. His supervisor was Professor Mary Hiscock. Chancellor Sipana Sok.
I now call upon the Vice-Chancellor to read the Bonn University charge to the graduates.
Would all graduates please stand? I charge you as graduates of Bonn University to demonstrate at all times the highest moral and ethical standards, to apply and to continue to extend your learning to the benefit of society, to strive through your actions to promote the universal worth of all peoples, and to pursue the highest standards in all of your endeavours, so that in fulfilling your personal goals and human responsibilities, you add to the standing of your university. Thank you. Please be seated.
It now gives me great pleasure to invite Tamarin Freeman to make a valedictory statement on behalf of her fellow graduates.
Good afternoon, Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, faculty members, my fellow graduates and your families. I'm Tamarin Freeman, and I'm just one more obstacle that stands between you and flinging your hat in air in celebration of a fantastic achievement, and of course the obligatory glass of champagne. But I promise you, at the end of this, you will not be expected to remember any of it. I will not be testing you on the contents of it, and I won't be giving you a list of journal articles that those who want to excel in this subject may find the reading of beneficial. Instead, I hope to take what we have done over the course of our studies and show that whilst our knowledge of our chosen fields is now proven, our traits as members of the broader community are also on show when we hang our degrees on our respective mantelpieces. Firstly, allow me to confess I'm no speechwriter. Fortunately, I know of two men who were. Cicero, a Roman philosopher, largely regarded as one of the greatest minds of history, and my late grandfather. The two are actually linked. Permit me to explain. I have in my possession a folder which my grandfather compiled, filled with anecdotes, quotes, short stories, things he used in speeches throughout his life. And towards the bottom of the pile, I found a small snippet from a magazine which read, "The 6 Mistakes of Man." Well, naturally, I was intrigued. To give you an age of the idea of this magazine, on the back of the snippet was an advertisement for what I assume was a hotel. And it read, "Complete with billiards, dancing, city water and refrigeration." Exactly the kind of features I look for on lastminute.com. But I digress. Cicero eloquently stated the 6 mistakes of man were: 1. The delusion that individual advancement is made by crushing others. 2. Insisting a thing is impossible because we cannot accomplish it. 3. Neglecting the development and refinement of the mind and not acquiring the habit of reading and study. 4. Refusing to set aside trivial preferences. 5. Attempting to compel other persons to live and believe as we do. And 6. The tendency to worry about things that cannot be changed or corrected. I do believe he omitted mistakes 7, 8 and 9, Britney Spears, mullets and lycra, but I'm sure that had Cicero lived in modern times, he wouldn't have made such glaring errors. Seriously though, whilst the last thing you want to hear about today is mistakes, I'm here to tell you that as a result of our studies at Bond, we are more likely to avoid these mistakes and more likely to contribute positively to our world. The first mistake Cicero outlines is the delusion that individual advancement is made by crushing others. Perhaps you're familiar with the story of Macbeth, heading down a dark corridor, knife in hand, to kill the king so that he may take the throne. In the end, he loses his mind and his life. The moral of the story? Ruthless ambition for power at all costs is not profitable. Oh, and try and avoid neurotic women. Bond University, and indeed all other places of higher learning, instill the ideal of healthy competition. Ambition to succeed and be the best that one can be is expected. However, this advancement is never encouraged at the expense of others. We learn about and respect the ethics associated with our professions. The relationships formed with fellow students in coffee shops, libraries, over theories and assignments are based on mutual advancement. We accept that 2 heads are better than 1, that the sum of the parts is not as great as the product. Principles that we as graduates will espouse in all of our future endeavours. Through our studies, we learn, as Cicero said, is that it is a mistake to insist a thing is impossible because we cannot accomplish it. One of the advantages of being part of an academic establishment is that your eyes are open to the ability of others. Through our academic life, we have been privy to the work of countless gifted people. Although we graduate today with pride, we have also been humbled by that which we have studied. We are better equipped to recognise our limitations, to make the most of our strengths, and to realise that there are others out there who can do what we can't. If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. If Isaac Newton can be so humble, who are we not to pursue a similar course? We're graduating today with postgraduate degrees, the implication being that we've all been here before and made, to some, an almost inexplicable decision to go back to uni. To them, we are the quintessential suckers for punishment. And I'd hazard a guess that many of us would have been sitting in our undergrad degrees thinking, oh, thank goodness that's over. Yet, here we are. Cicero warned against neglecting the development and refinement of the mind and not acquiring the habit of reading and study. Well, I think we've got that one covered. We came back to uni not just for another degree. We came back to satisfy that part of us that demands we not only expand on what we know, but that we don't understand. Justine Garda said it best in his novel Sophie's World, "Wisest is she who knows what she does not know." Achieving what we have come here to celebrate today is not just that we've fulfilled the requirements of a course, but recognition that we are lifelong learners. When Cicero talks of setting aside trivial preferences, I think we all know to what he is referring. One of the greatest gifts we take away from our study is the ability to work harmoniously with others. We develop skills in communication, mediation and negotiation. Essentially, we learn how to work in a global workplace. Through education, we learn the art of cooperation, the art of looking beyond our selfish preferences and pride if a better path presents itself. Cicero also warns us against trying to compel other persons to believe and live as we do. Bond students are a really diverse bunch from countries all around the globe, and we work together in this beautiful facility, and we appreciate what every individual can bring to the table. Expecting people to live and think the same as we do is ignorant. Believing that people want to work together for the future is hope. This is what American President Barack Obama extolled in his inauguration speech. I believe deeply that we cannot solve the challenges of our time unless we solve them together. By understanding that we may have different stories, but we hold common hope. That we may not look the same and we may not be from the same place, but we all want to move in the same direction, towards a better future. Finally, Cicero talks about the tendency to worry about things that cannot be changed or corrected. As humans, we will always strive for perfection, but at what cost? We're all postgraduate students, and surprisingly, our study is not the only focus in our lives. Many of us work full-time, many of us have families. All of us have a multitude of responsibilities on top of these studies. In the end, we learn the fine art of balancing. We learn to prioritise and organise. To this end, I'm reminded of some poignant words from the CEO, former CEO I should say, of Coca-Cola, Brian Dyson. Imagine life as a game in which you're juggling some 5 balls in the air, and you name them: work, family, health, friends, and spirit. And you're trying to keep all these balls in the air. You'll soon learn that work is a rubber ball. If you drop it, it will bounce back. But the other 4 balls, family, health, friends, spirit, they're made of glass. And if you drop one of these, they will be marked, scratched, damaged, even shattered. They will never be the same. I can't leave the podium without a few thank yous on behalf of the graduates. I'll be brief, so please don't start the closing music yet. To commend you all on such an achievement without mentioning those who have formed a trampoline beneath us would be akin to acknowledging the winemaker but not the grape. For although the glory of producing a Grange hermitage may rest with the winemaker, it is those who turn the soil, prune the vines, and harvest the fruit whose work creates the foundation upon which to create the wine. First of all, thank you to our teachers and Bond staff, whose commitment to their work must be applauded. I believe the quality of educators at Bond allow this university to not only be an institute of learning, but a professional place of work where all are dedicated to the enrichment of the mind. Next, our trampolines, the people off whom we've bounced in order to better ourselves. Mums, dads, husbands, wives, fiancés, brothers, sisters, boyfriends, girlfriends, children and friends. You have been a constant in our lives, an invaluable support network, and on behalf of us all in the funny hats, I say thanks. I'd also like to thank Bond University, and I'm sure we all feel very proud to be graduating today from not only a very well-respected university, but a place that cares deeply about its students. Finally, thanks to my grandfather Donald, and of course Senator Cicero, I hope I gave credence to your message. A message I hope resonates with the graduates today. Go hard, but remember Macbeth. No can-do is a place near Kathmandu and not a state of mind. No matter how much you'll learn, you'll never know everything. Don't sweat the small stuff and keep your eyes on the bigger picture. To my fellow graduates, congratulations on your achievements, and I wish you every success in the future.
Well, I think Tamron has articulated with great insight and depth of motion the journey and the experiences that you A, enjoy at Bond University, and B, you'll now explore as you go forth. And I would share with Tamron the adage she mentioned from Cicero that the diversity on this campus is one of the great strengths of this university and enables students and all members of the Bond University campus community to learn from others, gain insights and experience that will hold everyone in good stead as they go forward. So can you join with me in congratulating Tamarin Freeman for an outstanding, insightful presentation as the valedictory statement. Well, firstly, can I just add my congratulations to the postgraduate graduation today, to all those that have graduated from Bond University at this graduation today. Congratulations. You obviously have in front of you now an exciting journey as you go forth into the world and you go forth in your careers and in your lives. You are all, of course, alumni of Bond University. You are our ambassadors. This is your university. I trust that the passion and the experience that you've developed here at Bond University will lead you to reflect on your days here and also look to promote and support this great institution. All of us at Bond University wish you every success in your future endeavours. Enjoy your journey. You are remarkably fortunate to be going into the world as well equipped as you are through your efforts and the efforts of your mentors and lecturers here at Bond University. I'm also like to just thank the parents and friends of the graduates today for their support of the graduates and therefore their support of Bond University. I know that that support is crucial to students when they are studying. So well done and congratulations for your activity today. I'd also like to thank everyone for being here today on this important postgraduate graduation at Bond University. This is a very important occasion for our graduates today. It's also quite a day for myself because I've not missed one graduation in my 6 years as Chancellor. I thoroughly enjoy these experiences of the graduation. It gives me a great thrill to see so many people go forth with their degrees from Bond University, and it's just a pleasure to be associated with these great students. I will miss these graduation ceremonies, and I must say my lovely wife is always here to support me at these ceremonies, and we'd like to thank you all for being supporters of Bond University and showing your support by being here today. Again, I'd like to thank everyone involved, and I understand that afternoon tea and better will be provided for graduates, family and staff members and friends at the Don's Tavern function room. Once again, congratulations to the graduates today, and thank you all very much for showing your support by being in attendance today. Thank you all.